The film opens on a beach, as Us Navy tells a group of children the story of Washington Heights. He tells them about the concept of a sueñito, a little dream that everyone has. He begins the story in the middle of the summer in Washington Heights, introducing the main characters of the film, Abuela Claudia, the aged matriarch of the neighborhood who took him in and raised him, Kevin Rosario, who runs the taxi company, the salon ladies Daniela, Carla and Kuka, his younger cousin Sonny, who he employs, Benny, who is employed by Kevin at the taxi company, and Vanessa, who works at the salon and is Us Navy's love interest, as they each pass by his neighborhood bodega for their morning coffee before they carry on with their day. Alejandro, who runs the local law firm, stops by the bodega to inform Us Navy that his father's old business in the Dominican Republic has been put back up for sale and can be purchased, something Us Navy has always dreamed of buying and reviving, his sueñito. Meanwhile, Nina Rosario, Kevin's daughter, returns to the neighborhood from her first year at Stanford University. After a quick reunion with Benny, Us Navy, Sonny and Abuela, she goes to find her father, while dreading telling him of her plans to drop out, due to a combination of loneliness and financial troubles, in doing so letting her neighborhood down. She meets her father and tells him that she would be unable to pay tuition fees in time, but he brushes her off, telling her not to worry. Elsewhere in the neighborhood, Daniela, Carla, Vanessa and Kuka work at the neighborhood salon, which will be moving soon to the Bronx due to rising rent. Nina arrives at the salon for a treatment, and they happily oblige, all the while gossiping about her and Vanessa's love interests. The attention soon turns to her studies, however, and she is forced to reveal that she has dropped out of university and leaves. Vanessa, on her lunch break, goes to submit a rental application to pursue her sueñito of moving downtown to become a fashion designer. However, she is unable to provide a good credit check and her application is rejected. Disappointed, she heads back to the neighborhood and drops by Us Navy's bodega, where Sonny manages to ask her out on the weekend, on Us Navy's behalf. Due to the summer heat, the entire neighborhood closes up shop early to head to the local pool. Just as Us Navy, Sonny, and Benny prepare to leave, Sonny receives a call that one of the lottery tickets the bodega has sold has won $96,000. They and the rest of the neighborhood begin to fantasize about achieving their own sueñitos with the money if they were the ones who won. Meanwhile, Mr. Piriguero laments how Mr. Softy is stealing his business. That weekend, Benny and Nina meet at the park to hang out, as they reminisce about their childhood spent in the neighborhood. She expresses her doubts and her fears about her self-worth to Benny, but he reassures her that she is destined for greatness. Afterwards, Benny walks in on a meeting between Kevin and the dry cleaner next door, who has tried to buy over the lot where Kevin's business is. Meanwhile, Us Navy goes to talk to Sonny's father about letting him go with him to the Dominican Republic, but Sonny's father informs him that he and Sonny are undocumented immigrants. That evening, Us Navy, Sonny, Abuela, and the salon ladies gather at Kevin and Nina's house for a dinner party. Later on, Benny arrives and questions Kevin about his earlier meeting with the dry cleaner, forcing Kevin to reveal his news. He called Stanford, and has sold the business to pay for Nina's tuition. Outraged that he went behind her back, Nina refuses the money and storms out, followed by Benny, as Kevin tells the rest of the guests to leave. Us Navy and Vanessa head to the club for their date, along with Benny and Nina. At the club, Us Navy is overly nervous and aloof, and Vanessa dances with other men to make him jealous. Us Navy finds his own partner and tries to make her jealous in turn. Suddenly, the power goes out in the neighborhood, now without any further delay. Let's get into the recap. And in the ensuing chaos, Vanessa and Us Navy get separated. Sonny and Graffiti Pete light up fireworks to illuminate the neighborhood, while Benny and Kevin return to the taxi company to direct cars and taxis. Vanessa and Us Navy find each other and argue about their date. Vanessa angrily rejects him and they both go home. Nina and the salon ladies go to Us Navy's apartment, where they play bingo and revel in the fireworks. Abuela, lying in bed, reminisces about her childhood in Cuba, living in poverty, and how she and her mother came to New York, enduring hardships to be where she is today. As she passes away, her heart unable to take the summer heat. Us Navy discovers her unresponsive and calls the emergency hotline, but it is too late. The entire neighborhood comes together to mourn her passing and sing her praises. At a neighborhood protest for DACA, Nina learns that Sunny cannot go to college as he is an undocumented immigrant. She resolves to go back to university to find a way for undocumented children like Sunny to find a pathway in life. She informs Kevin of her decision, and he happily tells her that she has surpassed him, and encourages her to pursue her goals, telling her to disregard anything negative people say about her. While clearing out the trash, Us Navy discovers Vanessa's rental application that she had thrown away. He visits Daniela as she is packing up and preparing to move her business, asking her to co-sign on Vanessa's application. Afterwards, disappointed with the block's negative attitudes over the blackout and Abuela's passing, Daniela rouses them into a celebration of their shared Latin culture, as the entire neighborhood joins in. Vanessa and Sunny express reservations, but Us Navy convinces them to let go of their worries and celebrate in the moment, as the blackout finally ends. A month later, Nina finishes packing to return to Stanford, and she and Benny agree to pursue a long-distance relationship. Benny reaffirms his faith in her, and promises to make his way over to California to be with her, as they finally kiss. At the same time, as Us Navy finishes preparing to leave for the Dominican Republic the next day, he discovers that Abuela held the winning lottery ticket, and has passed it on to him. Just at that moment, Vanessa shows up and flirts with him, having found out that Us Navy convinced Daniela to co-sign on her lease, and bought him a bottle of champagne to thank him. She quietly suggests that Us Navy should stay, but he refuses. Distraught, she finally kisses him, and laments that she was too late in realizing her feelings for him. Afterwards, Us Navy visits Alejandro and Sunny, giving him the winning ticket and telling him to use it for Sunny's legal fees as he applies for documentation. The next morning, Us Navy walks around the neighborhood one last time, and runs into Vanessa. She takes him to his old bodega and shows him a new fashion line she created the previous night, having been inspired by Graffiti Pete's paint rags. Graffiti Pete has painted a mural across the wall of the beach where Us Navy's father's old business used to be, and another one celebrating Abuela Claudia and her famous motto, Paciencia y Fe. Us Navy has an epiphany and tasks Sunny and Pete with telling the neighborhood of his decision to stay. The story returns to the present day, where the beach where Us Navy is telling his story is revealed to be the new shop that he and Vanessa built together. He is revealed to have married Vanessa, and one of the children is revealed to be Us Navy's daughter. The film ends with present-day Us Navy, Vanessa, and their daughter dancing with the rest of the neighborhood. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know in the comment section below which movie you want us to recap next. As always, until the next time.